Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I don't know if you read George Orwell's dystopian novel 1984, but if you didn't, I urge you to do that. If you did, you know what I'm going to talk about. Over there, they were talking about double speak or double talk, which was a contradiction between words, meaning, and it's kind of like Alice in Wonderland. You know, go up was down, down was up, and all that. The reverse, the oppositions. For instance, over there it was the Ministry of Truth in 1984. The Ministry of Truth was actually the Ministry of Censorship. So, you know, by censoring us, it was called the Ministry of Truth. Or the Ministry of War was called the Ministry of Peace. So peace is war and war is peace. So it's a contradiction. If it's a crime, that's the law abiding, and vice versa. I'm just giving you examples. The Ukrainians, and not the Ukrainians actually, but the Ukrainians, with the help of Borrell, the foreign minister, not a foreign minister, but the guy in charge of the foreign policy of the European Union, an old guy, not very smart, Borrell, makes some statements, and I will show you the article coming from New Voice of Ukraine, and that is double speak or double talk, which is peace is war, you know what I mean, and war is peace. Okay, so I got on their site right here, New Voice of Ukraine, and here this is Borrell on the right lower corner. I will show you bigger, okay? Right here. So this is the article. I would like you to read in red. This is Borrell. It's like a weasel. Look at that. Like he looks like a, how do you call it, crocodile. This look in red. European Peace Fund. Borrell proposes EU to provide additional 3.5 billion in military aid to Ukraine. So under the generic of European Peace Fund, so it's a fund for peace, the Ukrainians, put the title, Borrell proposes EU to provide additional 3.5 billion in dollars, I'm guessing, or euros, in military aid to Ukraine. Let alone the 3.5 billion for now. Just focus on this. Peace Fund, military aid. Now, if this is not 1984 right here, I don't know what it is, my friends. May 17, 2023. So let's see what these weasels are saying. Because it came like this, and I couldn't see the other thing with the in red put by the Ukrainians. So let's see, little crocodile, what are you doing? The head of European Union diplomacy, Josep Borrell, has suggested that EU allocates 3.5 billion euros, which is $3.8 billion, to further security assistance to Ukraine, Reuters reported on May 17. Now, security assistance means weapon to kill, right? This is what it is. Arms, weapons, and ammunition. This is the security. So these euphemisms right here, security assistance, means weapons to kill Russians invaders, okay? Because the Russians, we know, invaded Ukraine, unprovoked. According to the report, Borrell asked EU governments for additional resources for the European Peace Facility. Can you believe? So once additional resources, what do you think resources means? And we're going to find out below here. So additional resources, another euphemism, for the European Peace Facility, which has already contributed approximately 4.6 billion euros in military aid. I mean, weapons to kill. Aid. This aid is like a band-aid, like a first aid kit, things like this, like aid. No, it's military aid, meaning weapons, ammunition, bombs, rockets, missiles, all that. But it's just an additional resources. The resources is bombs and all that. Okay, my friends? This is double speak right here. Unbelievable. Double speak. An anonymous EU source stated that Borrell decided, and even though here, this is the European Peace Facility, all right? So is the European Facility peace, and it's military aid. Yes, peace through war. You know, exactly what the Russians wanted. But hey, they attacked unprovokedly. An anonymous EU source stated that Borrell decided to request more money because the EPF is European Peace Facility, is running low. And the EU's Foreign Policy Service wanted to ensure that it had enough money to finance military aid, weapons. It has enough money, this peace fund, to finance, to buy weapons, to give the Ukrainians to continue fighting the war against the evil Russians, to other countries as well as Ukraine. And I'm quoting, "We have to top up," the source said. "The gist of the European Peace Facility has a universal character. It was not conceived by Ukraine. It was conceived for any conflict that the European Union could deal with." Okay, all right, money for weapons. So on March 20th, the foreign minister of EU countries agreed on a plan for joint procurement and supply of ammunition to Ukraine in the amount of 2 billion euros. Where do you think that money comes from? The Financial Times previously reported Ukraine has asked the EU for 250,000 artillery shells per month. He gave them the order. Can I have, yes, 2 eggs over medium, some French fries or whatever, hash browns with some bacon, yes, and some milk, please. Yes, can you warm up the milk for me? I come from Europe. We like it that way. Oh my God, it's gross. Shut up. Give what I asked you. If you want a tip, that's how it works. No, I'm just kidding. So anyway, 250,000 artillery shells per month to maintain the peace for resisting the Russian invasion. Did you see this? So they ask the EU for 250,000 shells per month to maintain the peace. The peace of Europe by resisting the Russian invasion. You can make shit up, man. So I don't know what to tell you, that if this is not dystopian reality here, or whatever you want to call it, I don't know. So this is Borrell. War is peace, peace is war. Remember, read George Orwell's 1984. And he wrote it in 1948. 1984 is the name of the book, but he wrote it in 1948. I think he died in 52 or something. He was a socialist slash communist, but I'm talking about George Orwell, but he became very disillusioned with that. He fought in the Spanish Civil War on the side of the socialists, communists, however you want to call them. So he was involved in this, but put aside that he had tuberculosis. I think he got all kind of things. And he was a very kinky guy, let's put it this way, mildly. But read the book. You're gonna find out that a lot of what's going on in that book is going on here. He was talking about a perpetual war. Perpetual war. Look at United States. Is United States engaged in a perpetual war? I think the only time that they were not engaged, but they were engaged actually in Afghanistan, it was a war, United States did not declare war. They don't declare anyway, but they did not start doing shit during Trump's administration, the crazy guy, you know, somehow. But United States, I think it was at war since, I can't remember, 50 or something. After the Second World War, they immediately got onto the war path with everybody else. So yeah, war is peace, peace of war. But that's how you keep peace, by fighting. It's true, if you want peace, arm yourself. It doesn't mean you have to use it. So here it is, my friends, the Ministry of Truth right here. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Go to work. Stop watching here. If you're from Europe, you gotta make some money for Borrell, so Borrell can keep the peace and give weapons, military grade weapons and shells and all that ammunition to the Ukrainians, so Ukrainians can kill the Russians, so the Russians cannot come and disturb your watching TV, drinking some beer, scratching your belly, your way of life. I'm just kidding, but you know what I mean. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.